create art through music, and sometimes an artist serves the community and creates an art project for children. And we are lucky enough that we have an artist that we're going to be meeting today and talking about today that created a very special work of art for our campus and for you to not only see, but you get to enjoy this piece of art. So let's unveil it and we will give a giant round of applause. Go ahead. Okay. All right. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Mr. Chavez is going to tell you all about it, so sit up nicely. Excellent.
This is called Buddy Bench. And the reason why it's called Buddy Bench is because it's going to be placed out on the playground in a central location, and there are several rules with the Buddy Bench. And I'll sum it up in one rule. You sit there if you need a friend. There are lots of kids who are lonely at this school who feel like they don't have a lot of friends. So that's the Buddy Bench that you sit at. And I know there are more kids in this school than ever that would love to make a new friend and like to meet a new uniqueness that's different from their own. So this is the Buddy Bench, and you're to sit there if you would like a person to play with, to talk to. You touch base there, and then you can walk around together. So that's going to share with you, if somebody sits there like this, we're not talking right now, we're thinking. This person's sitting there for a reason. This person sat there because she's very brave. How does that make you feel, class? It's a very special day when you see friends together, new friends. So this is the whole purpose of the Buddy Bench, okay? This has been designed by Mr. Frank Rock. So Mr. Frank Rock, if you don't mind standing real quick, everyone give him a round of applause. So you'll be able to see a lot of the amazing things that he drew on there for us. And of course, it'll be on display for you to look at, and then we'll be able to use it as soon as possible, okay? All right, so, but what I'd like to do, instead of just introducing Mr. Rock, Ms. Sorgenstein, who is also the person who thought of this great idea, she's my buddy for this project. She and I put together a presentation about this special artist that you see here so you can know a little bit more about him. So what we did was we surprised him by putting something together, and we wanted to share it with you. So you can have a seat if you like. And what I'd like to do is, I just wanted, me and Ms. Sorgenstein talked together. We said this. We said, we want the students of McGrath to know how much we appreciate someone who is taking their time and love and did something as special as creating a Buddy Bench for us, like Mr. Rock did. So if you don't mind hitting the light back there, we're going to put on a short little presentation so we can show you a little bit about Mr. Rock. We're not going to tell you when he was born. I don't know if he wants us to know his age, but I think he's 21.
Yes.
Is this turned on? Power button? I think it was turned off. Okay. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, it should be coming up. Here we are. Okay, his name is Mr. Rock, but we call him, well, his good friends call him Frank. And there's his picture down there. Okay, go for it. All right, he was born on March 12th, 1950. He was born and raised in Santa Clarita. He, when he was little, attended Newhall Elementary School. And guess who his 5th grade teacher was?
You.
Mr. McGrath. Dr. McGrath, the name of the school, was his teacher. Let's give that a round of applause. Okay, thank you. He attended Hart High School and San Jose State University. And that's what he looked like when he was in high school.
College.
Go
Spartans.
There you go.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome? Look at that. Muscles. Next picture. He's a family man. That's what I love about Mr. Rock. He always is involved with his family and his life. He's been married for over 40 years to his beautiful wife, Carol. And guess who's here with us? Carol. Can you please stand real quick? They have 3 beautiful children and 1 granddaughter. His children are named Casey, Carrie, and Sarah. And you know what he says? That his children are his greatest gifts. Next slide. There's his wedding day. Next picture. Those are his beautiful children. We picked that picture because he's very involved with his family, as you can see, and they all have something in common. They all like to be in the entertainment field. Next picture. And that's his beautiful granddaughter. Next picture, please. Theater life. This is a hobby that he is very involved in. Down the street, there's a big theater called Canyon Theater Guild, and that's where he acts a lot. He's very involved with the community and an actor at Canyon Theater Guild. There's a picture of Mr. Rock on the top left corner, and there's me in the middle. Next picture. There's Mr. Rock in a different character with his beautiful wife. I think you were stage managing.
I was.
Next picture. Ah, that's Mr. Thomas and Mr. Rock. We were in a show together. Next picture. Okay, art. This is where we get down to business. Mr. Rock is known for his art and murals, some of which you may have seen around in our community. I'm not kidding about this one. You'll see a picture. Maybe you'll recognize it. He's painted numerous backdrops for theater. Of course, we say that because there's a big thing that we're going to share with you that you might remember. And then he enjoys, this is one cool thing we loved about Mr. Rock. With his art, he loves looking at clouds and just capturing their beauty. So you'll see why I'm talking about this in a second. This is a common picture that you see on Main Street. I believe it's near the liquor store. Mr. Rock painted it. Next slide. Here's a famous bear that was part of a bear project. Perhaps you've seen this around. Mr. Rock painted it. How many of you remember this play? Raise a silent hand. Good, a silent hand. Okay, hands down. This was a play that was shown here in December. Well, although the actors were really great, Mr. Rock painted the sets in the background. And here we have one example of one of the cloud pictures that he visualized in his head. He saw as he was just daydreaming in the sun, or the clouds, and he saw this and he brought it to life. I say it's a beautiful picture. There are many festivals in Newhall and in many different cities around. It's called chalk art, and they start to draw paintings with great detail on the ground. He has done over a dozen or more, more than 20 maybe?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what number, probably around.
Probably around 20.
Man, all these pictures with just chalk like what Mr. Fossa brings to us to draw with our pastels. This was one of many, but we thought this was so pretty for you, the dragon. So that was beautiful. That's Mr. Rock right there. So the last thing we want to talk about Mr. Rock was simply this. This is a quote from Mr. Rock, and he's right here. So I'm wondering, okay, let's see if Mr. Rock can read this. Can you read? This is your words here, but we're going to always remember it.
I don't really want to take credit for these words as being my own, but I've found them long ago when I was a little boy, and this is what I believe. If I cannot do great things, then I will do small things in a great way. So that's how I look at my art and what I do.
So one way of being McGrath proud is making sure that you appreciate others. And Miss Sorgensen and I and the whole staff really appreciate the fact that Mr. Rock took time out of his schedule to help us with our buddy bench. And so we're going to talk to Miss Diamond right now about something very special that has been brought to our attention. So let's give it a